How are you all doing? It's a lovely day in Manchester today. Perfect day to make a video. Now, this channel is becoming a bit of a punk heavy channel, and I suppose that would be the case if punk is your favourite genre like myself. So I've decided to do a top 10 greatest albums of all time non-punk edition. I've already done a top 10 greatest punk albums of all time. Go and watch that video after this one. This is the top 10 non-punk albums of all time. It was a really difficult list to make. It was more difficult because there's so much contrast in it. It's like, how can I put that against that? We've got all sorts of genres and everything. So let's just crack on. Now, the album I've got in at number 10 isn't strictly a studio album. That's why it's so low on the list. It's a bit of classical music. It is Tchaikovsky's 4th, 5th and 6th symphonies, conducted by Herbert von Karajan, played by the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra. I think the Romantic era of classical music is probably the best era. Obviously, there's great Baroque stuff. You know, you've got like your Bach and your Goldberg variations, which is just stunning. That sounds like an angel's written it. And then you've got stuff like The Rite of Spring, Stravinsky. But I just think the late 1800s was probably the best time for music. It was very emotional, very passionate, very romantic, as we said. So I first encountered this symphony as a 16-year-old trumpet player, having never played in an orchestra before. I went on a North Wales Youth Orchestra course and I was blown away by this music. I didn't really listen to classical music up to that point, and this 4th symphony just had everything. It was dramatic, it had amazing loud trumpet fanfares, which I love, gorgeous emotive strings, beautiful woodwind. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the oboe, but the second movement, I wish I played oboe. Like, the opening of that is just gorgeous. I always play it on my trumpet if I'm just messing about at home. If I live next door to any oboe players, they're probably like, why are they playing my stuff? How dare they? Yeah, and then we did the 5th symphony as well. Very triumphant, very dramatic, very virtuosic. I've just got loads of nostalgia with the 4th symphony in particular. It's where I made a lot of best friends. It's the first time I really felt like I fit in anywhere. Like, I'm a band geek and I kind of met my tribe at this course. So I always have really fond memories of listening to that. I wouldn't want to hear a recording of us playing it because in my head we sounded like the Berlin Phil. So yeah, and then the 6th symphony as well, that's just so depressing. I mean, Tchaikovsky had a lot of demons at that point, and his 4th movement is basically a suicide note. Like, it's so emotive, the strings, it just makes you want to tear up. If you get too into it, you just listen to that, it's just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal piece of orchestral work. So I don't listen to a lot of classical music, but that is an absolute banger. Is banger the right word? Yeah. It's exciting, it's emotive, it's dramatic, it sounds massive, there's loads of instruments. It's an earworm as well, especially the last movement. Ba, 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 ba. You know, you only have to hear it once or twice and then it's stuck in your head all the time. It's not plinky plonky modern classical stuff, pretentious. It's just the right era for classical music. So that's in at number 10. So album number 9, in 9th place, we have got the Charlie Brown Christmas album by Vince Guaraldi Trio. Is that the name of it, Vince Guaraldi? It's a jazz trio consisting of piano, double bass and drums. And I mean, this is only so low because I only listen to it 1 month a year. I mean, I'd never put it on in April or March or whatever month we're in now, or whatever month you're watching this, unless it's 25th of November, officially a month before Christmas. Then this is all I'm listening to. It makes me nostalgic for a time I wasn't around in. I wasn't around in the 60s, but it's heartwarming, it's uplifting, it's gorgeous. The melodies just speak for themselves. He's not overdoing any of the improvisations. The tunes always come back properly. We're not going into pretentious areas of egotistical over soloing. I'm looking at you, John Coltrane. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's just wholesome. Makes me get in the Christmas spirit. Christmas is my favourite time of year. And this is the only thing I'm listening to, like I've said. So it does have your traditional O Tannenbaum and Hark the Herald and stuff like that. Fur-Elise, Greensleeves. But then it's got stuff specifically written for the Charlie Brown Christmas. I've never watched it, but I just love the music of it. It's got the ice skating thing with a beautiful melody. Just floats along. It's just stunning. It's just really stunning music. And it's a perfect time for jazz. It's not too basic and it's not too intricate and pretentious and listen to me do all this modern garbage. It's just perfect. There's so many tunes in it. Like I say, it's an earworm. Never get bored of it. You always hear a little fill that you've never noticed before, or a bass pattern that you've never heard before. It's just gorgeous. It could last 10 hours, that CD, and I don't think I'd get bored of it. So in at number 9, we have got the Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack. And the only reason, like I said, it's so low is that you only really listen to it once a year. Okay, so album number 8, I had to include a Beatles album on this list. I was pretty late to the Beatles, to be honest. I never really appreciated them until I was about, I don't know, 32, 33, something like that. I'd always heard the hits and I was just like, yeah, it's fine. We had to sing Let It Be to death in primary school. That sounds like a song title, Let It Be to Death. It's not like a death metal Beatles arrangement or anything. Let It Be by the Beatles. I just found it a bit dirgy and we just had to sing it all the time. But when you actually get into the deep cuts of the Beatles, they're just a fantastic band. So I've gone with Revolver. Revolver is my favourite Beatles album. It's not too experimental. Like, I listened to the White Album the other day. I just find that like kids bop. Like 80% of that album is just novelty kids tunes, which I just don't like at all. And it has a bit of sniffing its own farts to it, that album. And the early stuff, it's fine. It's just a bit formulaic, I think is the right word. I do like some of the early stuff, but I just think with Revolver, they got it perfect in terms of in-your-face guitars, still loads of melodies and stuff. You've got beautiful tunes like Eleanor Rigby, probably my favourite Beatles song. That could be a film. Sorry. That could be a film within a song. You could make a whole film out of Eleanor Rigby, couldn't you? It's just an amazing arrangement. The strings, Paul McCartney's voice. Paul McCartney's the best Beatle for me, and I think he's really shown off well in this. Like, what else is there? Good Day Sunshine. It's just a feel-good album. I love all the sitar stuff on it as well. I'm a massive fan of Beatles sitar. So yeah, Taxman, really good opener. Great guitar riffs. And Your Bird Can Sing. There's just... I was going to say there's not a bad song on it, but that would be a lie because Here, There and Everywhere, that can get in the bin. It's just a bit inoffensive and boring. And then Yellow Submarine is disgusting. That's just like, I don't know. That's like going for a Michelin star meal and then having some baked beans as one of the courses in the middle of it. Like cold baked beans. But yeah, Revolver, my favourite Beatles album of all time. It's rock and roll. It's good pop, it's original. It always blows my mind how the Beatles were able to write songs like that. I don't know what musical education they had with things like Eleanor Rigby. How did they come up with that? They were in their mid-20s, weren't they, when they did that? Just blows my mind. So yeah, there we go, Revolver in at number 8. Okay, so in at number 7, we have got No Limit by Sergei Nakariakov. You've probably never heard of that. Sergei Nakariakov is like the Lionel Messi of the trumpet, basically. It's absolutely incredible. He's got the best technique you've ever heard. He tends to record lots of violin concertos, viola concertos, cello concertos. I don't know what people think of that, that play the violin. They probably get a bit triggered. But he does it incredibly well. He's the only trumpet player that records these pieces. I think other trumpet players just think, oh, Sergei Nakariakov's recorded this. I'm not going anywhere near that. The opening is just stunning. It's a Sansons piano piece. I'm gonna butcher it. Introduction Capriccioso or something like that. And yeah, it's just stunning. It really is stunning. There's no other word for it. The lyrical stuff is beautiful, and then he's got this technique which is just absolutely phenomenal. It sounds like 4 trumpeters playing at once. And towards the end, he's going for ages. And he's circular breathing, so he's taking in air through his nose and it's going out through his mouth at the same time. And it's just like, I don't know how to do that. I could practice my cornet or trumpet for 9 hours every day and I'm never going to get anywhere near as good as him. Like, it's just ridiculous playing. And then he recorded there's loads of Tchaikovsky on this as well. I'm a massive fan of Tchaikovsky, as I've already said. Rococo Variations, originally for cello. He's done it for flugelhorn. And the range he gets on that instrument, you don't hear many people able to play the flugelhorn like that. And his sound is just stunning. It's so distinctive. You can just tell it's him straight away. He's just flawless. He's a flawless musician. oozes emotion, oozes virtuosity. You'll be blown away by both the musical phrasing and just the sublime technique that this guy has. And then he does Rhapsody in Blue right at the end, George Gershwin, and he can play in that jazz style as well. He's just got it all. I'm just completely jealous of him. He started really late as well. Like, I think he was 16 or 17. His posture's terrible, and yet he can just play flawlessly like I've never heard anyone play before. So he's absolutely phenomenal. When I do listen to classical music, I tend to go for soloists rather than orchestra pieces. Yeah, so there you go. Sergei Nakariakov, No Limit, in at number 7. So in at number 6 is a bit of a late entry for me. I've only just discovered this album, but I was listening to it yesterday and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put this in. I took original Pirate material out by the streets and I've replaced it with this. And this is Café Bleu by Style Council. It's not really a genre I'm that familiar with, like early 80s, mid 80s pop, but I've always been a big fan of Paul Weller, and I read about why he left the Jam at the height of their career, and he's just like, do you know what, I want to move on, I want to try something else with no boundaries. And he came out with this sort of fusion album where it's got funk on it, it's got soul, it's got a bit of mod. Obviously he's the mod father. There's just what else is on it? Funk, I've said that already. Pop. But he's just a genius, Paul Weller. I had a look at the tracks, and he's written all these tracks, all these sort of jazz pieces. I didn't know he had that in his locker. And again, this makes me nostalgic for a time I wasn't even around at. The whole point of No Return, that song. I don't like listening to songs on repeat, but I'll listen to that 3 times, 4 times in a row. The guitar soloing on that is just absolutely stunning. It's just gorgeous. It's like this sort of jazzy thing. And Paul Weller's voice, it's not always in tune, but I think that's the charm of it. It's just like a working class man singing a gorgeous song. It's just the most beautiful thing I've heard. I'm not really into ballads like that, but I just listen to that song all the time. I have Café Bleu as I had to stop having it as my alarm. Because I was just sleeping through it, just like enjoying the music. Like, it starts off with mix piece or something, the piano boogie woogie type thing, which is great, and then it just goes different contrasts, and there's loads of different singers on it and stuff. And then there's that one song, and it just goes so hard that this like funk Grandmaster Flash type thing in the middle of it. It's just brilliant. So yeah, I'm surprised that went in, but I was just listening to it yesterday and I thought, do you know what, this has to go in at the minute. Maybe I'll change my mind in a few years, but Café Bleu by Style Council, it's just phenomenal album. Overlooked because I'd not really heard much about them. And then I heard Shout to the Top and I was like, oh, that's a good song. I wonder if the rest of the repertoire is like that. And it was. I just love it. So yeah, there you go. Style Council. Getting to the meat of the video now, in at number 5. I'm not sure if this is a punk pick. It's definitely punk in spirit. And it's very heavy. It is a metal album. It's the greatest metal album of all time, in my opinion. It is Toxicity by System of a Down. What an album that is. It's just incredible. I'm not usually into this sort of deep, growly type of music, but it's so quirky and off the wall. And how many metal bands including like Armenian folk music within the metal and then merging it together? Not many. And System of a Down do that, and that makes them really unique. And they're quirky, they're funny, they're political, they're amazing musicians. Like, the first 4 songs are so flawless. I put that album on when I went for a run once, and it was a mistake because I ran about 2 miles in 10 minutes for the first 4 songs. That might be an exaggeration, but I was fit at one point. Like, the way that Prison Song starts, it's like, oh, my CD skipped. Then it comes back in, you're like, whoa, what is this? Trying to build a prison. And then it comes back in, you're just like, what is this? What is this? I've never heard anything like this. And I heard it when I was about 13. I was just like, what is this? It's like Dead Kennedys, but metal. That's the only way I can describe them. They're just amazing. What an amazing band. Chop Suey. I'm glad that's so popular because it's just an amazing song, isn't it? I mean, there's no other band like System of a Down. And that was them at their peak. They're able to do kind of slow ballads, include, like I've said, weird Eastern kind of melodies in it, and they're able to switch pace really well. They've got the backing singer, the guitar, and it's just like, how on earth do you do that? I've got no idea how to do that. It just rocks hard. Now, I know I sound like a boomer when I say that. It does rock, though. That's the definition of rock. It rocks hard. Yeah, it's just amazing. What an incredible album that is. It's just flawless. There isn't a bad track on it. It's intense. It just makes you want to get out and fight the system in a way that a lot of punk stuff does. Makes you want to bounce around the room. It's just a brilliant album. I don't care if that's cheating or not. It's metal, isn't it? Not punk. So I'm going to have that. In at number 5, that is System of a Down with Toxicity. So in at number 4, we have got Miles Davis with Miles Ahead. Yet another trumpet album for the list. You can tell I play trumpet. What a musician Miles Davis is. This is a collaboration with a guy called Gil Evans. He did about 3 or 4 of these albums with Gil Evans, where rather than just play with a quintet, he played with a 20-piece orchestra. And it is a big band, but I think it's more than a big band. Like, you've got bassoons. Have you got bassoons on there and stuff? You've got like some weird instruments that you wouldn't really associate with jazz. Like, you've definitely got French horns on there. And it's just an amazing contrast. It's my favourite era of Miles Davis, because he went through so many evolutions, which I really do respect as a musician. Not to just do the same thing all the time. But the quintet stuff for me, it's ahead, and then it's just like improvising for 6 minutes. I'm a bit like, oh, this is a bit boring, like, after a while. But this is well structured. You've got your tune, you've got your big band stuff, and then Miles does improvise, and then it's always structurally sound towards the end. It goes to the end. There's a proper story being told rather than, right, let's just improvise for 10 minutes here. He's just got the scope to improvise. I love the contrast. I didn't really know Miles is playing at this point when I bought the CD, and it came in with this massive big band brash sound, heavy trumpets, and I was expecting like a Maynard Ferguson type soloist to come in, and then he just came in really low key, and it was like, oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting, but it actually works really well. So it's really tuneful. It's not like modern jazz or anything. I think you can get on board with this. Even if you say you don't like jazz, you can play someone this album, and it's got something for everyone. It's got the beautiful ballads in it. He's just able to make beautiful music. He sounds like a human voice. Like, you can really hear there's pain inside. Feels like he's a very troubled character, and he's got a lot of pain inside him when he's playing these slow melodies. He's just like screaming out for, I don't know, he's yearning for something anyway. If you really get into him, you're really listening to him, I think you can just cry over how beautiful his playing is, really. But yeah, he's able to do it all. Like, New Rumba's really exciting. It's quite technical, but he just never makes anything sound technical. I think that's what makes Miles Davis so good. Nothing he does sounds technical, and you think, oh, he's not got much of a technique. But if you actually try and play some of the stuff, it's like, wow, okay. He's always music. He's always about the music. And yeah, the arrangements, like I say, I've never really heard anything like it. Gil Evans is just an absolute genius. So Dizzy Gillespie said he had to buy this album again because he wore it out because he played it that much. Now, you can't really get higher praise than that, can you, off Dizzy? I don't know how Dizzy does that. Like, all that comes out when he plays. I don't know. Anyway, in at number 4, Miles Davis, Miles Ahead. Okay, we're into the top 3 now. So I could have had these in any order, and I'm starting to think this album should be number 1. It's going to be number 1 in many people's eyes, I know. But it is Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. Now, I don't usually like albums that are this long, but Stevie gets away with it because he can just mold so many styles together so flawlessly. There's something, every minute of this album isn't wasted. There's no filler on it at all. It's Stevie at his best, at his peak. This was his 18th studio album or something, and it's phenomenal. You know, where do you begin with this? What's been said about this album that hasn't already been said? What can I say about this album? I think he's the best singer ever. When you hear someone cover a Stevie Wonder song, you just realise how good Stevie Wonder is, because they just get nowhere near it. And he's still got it. I went to see him last year, and he was just amazing, and he played loads of this album. I love Summer Soft, Sir Duke, obviously. Isn't She Lovely? Contusion, is it? Yeah, he just does every style on here, and he's just an incredible musician. It's just such a ride. You can't really beat it. You can't play this to someone and they go, no, I don't like this. Like, how? It's got so much heart in it, so much soul. I mean, if you only had to listen to one album, again, you'd probably pick this because it's got so much variety on it. And he is a genius. I mean, that word does get branded around a lot, but if you're thinking of musical geniuses, Stevie Wonder should be one of the first 3 or 4 names that you say. Certainly in the modern era. I mean, you might go Mozart, you might go whatever, but yeah, I'm waffling here because I'm struggling for positive things to say that haven't already been said about this album. You probably know it already. It is phenomenal. Go and listen to it if you haven't already. Treat yourself. Whack it up. Listen to it in a few bits if you want. But yeah, he is the man, isn't he? Stevie is the man. So in at number 3, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Right, in at number 2, like I said, this could have been 1, this could have been 2, this could have been 3. I'm just feeling this today. It's an often overlooked album, and I think he is probably, do you know what I'm going to say? I think he's the greatest rapper that Britain have ever produced. And I'm going to say this is Plan B's debut album. It's Who Needs Actions When You've Got Words. Now, if you've never heard this before and you've just heard me say that and you go and listen to it, you need a bit of a trigger warning on it, all right? He is singing as characters, okay? He is singing as a character on these songs, and it's like a gritty horror film set in early noughties London, which sounds very realistic. But yeah, these lyrics will make you go, oh my God, they will blow you away. He's just an amazing storyteller. Every song on this could be a film. I know I said that about Paul McCartney and Eleanor Rigby, but every song on this could be made into a film. He's just a genius at the way he tells these stories, and you do get into the plots a lot. Like Dead and Buried, the tales on that is just, it's an amazing song. He's a really good guitarist as well. I think he produced the album, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. He's a really good singer, like he proved on following albums. You can hear his voice. Like, it's good for, he's rapping and he's able to do that, and then he's able to sing in such a gorgeous way as well. It's just dark. It's just really dark. It just takes your breath away. And like, oh my God, did he just say that? And then like Charmaine, it's got a horrendous twist at the end of it. Tough Love. Sometimes I'll cry listening to that song. He's like, yeah, he's just got away with words. He's just an amazing writer. I mean, he did turn one of his albums into a film, and that's also just as good. I didn't want to put 2 Plan B albums in this, but this album is so raw. He was unknown. He didn't care what he was saying. Just an amazing storyteller. He's just brilliant, and there's not a bad track on it. There's, yeah, I don't know what to say. Just listen to it, and then just remember he's singing as a character. But yeah, what a character. What an ability to craft a song. What an ability to tell a story, to get his emotions out there, wearing his heart on his sleeve. It just makes you go, whoa. Some of these songs still give me goosebumps. I remember when I first heard this. That's a sign of a good album. When you remember when you first heard it. I was at Chester train station in 2006. I wasn't really into hip-hop or rap at this point. I just thought it was about, look at my chains, look at my watches, look at how many girls I can get. And that's all I thought it was about. And then I heard this and I was like, wow, this is what rap can do. Like, tell stories like this and be emotional and, yeah, make you laugh. It does make you laugh sometimes as well. Like, I Don't Hate You, there's some really funny lines in that song. Yeah, just an unbelievable storyteller. Underrated. Does make me laugh. Like, he got a lot of critical acclaim on his second album, and that was literally just singing, and there was no dark stuff on it. Just makes me wonder if people go, oh, listen to the first album, and then they go, blimey, like, that is not what I was expecting. I needed a trigger warning. Why did no one tell me it was that dark? So yeah, in at number 2, probably one of the darkest albums you'll ever hear, but amazing storyteller, really good musician, good craftsman, good guitarist, good singer. Gone with plan B, Who Needs Actions When You've Got Words. All right, my favourite non-punk album of all time. This is cheating a little bit, but I don't care. It's my list. And you've got to break the rules sometimes, haven't you? They are quite heavily involved in the punk scene, but they're not really a punk band. I'm going to go for the Skints and FM. It's like dance hall, and you've got your reggae in there, and you've got your kind of faux rap. And you've just got, it's just a good vibe album. You've got acoustic. You've got 3 singers on there, and they all contrast really well. You've got loads of different instruments. It's just a really good dub reggae album as well. The drummer's an amazing singer. Went to see him live, and he's just got one of the best voices you'll ever hear. Like, really underrated band. I don't understand why the Skints aren't one of the biggest bands in the world. Like, how are they slept on so much? They should be playing like Wembley Stadium and stuff. I don't know if they're like Fugazi and they're like, no, we're not doing that. But it just seems to me like everyone's sleeping on how good this band are. They've just got so many good tunes. Don't you worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow won't be worrying about you. Every song from beginning to end, as I just sang there, is just... I'm running out of steam here. It's just amazing. It's an amazing album. My favourite non-punk album of all time. I stick it on. I never tire of it. It's light-hearted. It's wholesome. It's a good party album. My War, that's one of the best dub reggae songs you'll ever hear. His voice on that always gives me goosebumps. What a way to do a cover. The Skints, the biggest slept on band in the world by a mile. Amazing reggae band, really talented musicians. Like, what's her name? Is it Misha? Is it Misha? Apologies if you're watching this. The lead singer, well, there's 3 of them, but the woman in the band, she can play everything. Like, she plays absolutely everything. A beautiful voice. They harmonise beautifully as well. They grew up on bands like the Paragons and stuff like that. I hadn't heard of them either, but I checked them out. It's all like Trojan stuff from Jamaica, and they've just worked for hours and hours and hours in their garage, harmonising and getting the balance right, and they're just a beautiful band. I went to go and watch them unplugged a while ago, and I could have listened to them do a 12-hour set, and they weren't going on and on about politics or anything like that. It was just like a good vibe. They said, like, we know there's rubbish going on in the world, but let's just have a good night. And that's what you get from this album. It's flawless. There's not a second wasted. It's just a beautiful album. So yeah, that is the greatest non-punk album of all time. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Who Needs Actions When You've Got Words. Maybe it is Songs in a Key of Life. But today, we're going for FM by the Skints. So if you enjoyed this video, then do what you like. You can like and you can subscribe. It helps the channel out. It gives me self-esteem and confidence to make another video. So yeah, thank you. I hope you like my look today. I'm going for the farmer look. Yeah, happy Sunday. See you in the next one. Cheers.